I'm Sarah, and my parents are pressuring me to break up with my partner, David. They say he isn't good enough because of his job and financial situation. How do I navigate this? Your parent shouldn't have any say in your relationship, especially when you feel that he treats you amazingly.
And my partner, Liam, keeps accusing me of cheating, even though I've never given him a reason to doubt me. Can a relationship survive this kind of distrust?
The fact is, he's very insecure.
At worst, this is also a pattern of someone that is cheating. They will project on their partner the suspicion of guilt when they themselves are the one that is the perpetrator.
I've been in a relationship for 4 years. I've hinted at getting married, but she's always saying she's not ready. How do I address this without pushing her away? Hinting at it is not the same thing as asking.
If it's been 4 years, you've wasted 4 years.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra Ritter, and this is Tasha Taremi. We are coming to you from Astro Divas as well as Astrodipity, an online dating site based on compatibility through synastry. We hope you're having a lovely December. It is December 1st, and it's the time before Christmas and the holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. If you are alone, we recommend that you try out our dating site, which is all about putting in your time of birth, your place of birth, your date of birth, and hopefully you'll meet that special someone before the holidays. And if not, we're going through December now and going into a brand new year, 2025, which is coming up, and that should be wonderful for everyone. So on that note, we're going to get into some emails that we have between Tasha and I will start with the first one, which is, "Hi, Astro Divas. I'm Sarah, and my parents are pressuring me to break up with my partner, David. They say he isn't good enough because of his job and financial situation, even though he treats me amazingly. I feel torn between wanting to please my family and staying with someone I love. How do I navigate this?"
Well, the first thing, you shouldn't be letting anyone outside of your relationship dictate who you choose as a partner. That's your life, your reality. Secondly, you can manifest finances from a space of divine love. You cannot manifest divine love from a place of finances. Like if you're connecting with someone just because of their money, then it's going to be very difficult for you to generate divine love from that experience. That's my take on that.
I think your parents shouldn't have any say in your relationship, especially when you feel that he treats you amazingly. If he treats you amazingly, that's all that counts. That's all that should matter. And, be blessed with that. And please ask your parents to butt out.
Butt out.
It's not their business.
Right. Yeah. I agree. All right. The second one here. "Dear podcast, I'm Ava, and my partner Liam keeps accusing me of cheating, even though I've never given him a reason to doubt me. He checks my phone, asks constant questions. It's starting to feel like he's projecting his insecurities onto me. Can a relationship survive this kind of distrust? Best, Ava." Do you want to go on, weigh in on that one?
It can survive. This just has to be dealt with. Because this can't continue. It's driving her crazy. The fact is, he's very insecure. I don't know what happened in his past relationship, but he's very, very insecure. Is she giving him a reason? I'm gathering no. However, this has to be dealt with. They have to have a conversation about this because and hopefully maybe she can do things differently to maybe reassure him. She's asking, how does she prove herself? Well, if he's never going to accept what she is doing currently to prove herself, then maybe it's time that she walks away and finds someone else. But, hopefully it's Christmas time and hopefully they can sit down and have a conversation, maybe come to some sort of understanding.
My concern is, at best, it's that he's insecure from a past relationship. Yeah. At worst, this is also a pattern of someone that is cheating. They will project on their partner the suspicion of guilt when they themselves are the one that is the perpetrator. So right. I would be concerned about that as well.
And you just raised a great point, by the way, something a lot of us don't, talk about. Hi, Astro Divas. I'm Jason, and I've been in a relationship with Elena for 4 years. I've hinted at getting married, but she's always saying she's not ready. I'm starting to wonder if we're moving at a completely different pace or not. How do I address this without pushing her away? Do you want to weigh in?
Jason, yes. If it's been 4 years, you will spend the rest of your life holding on to what could be, but will never be. If she's not ready to commit to you, then you need to go and find what is aligned for you. This person is non-committal. And if it's been 4 years, you've wasted 4 years. You need to move on. That's my take on that one.
Well, the only thing I have to say on this one is, why are you hinting at it? Why not come out and just ask her directly, and then you'll know for sure. Hinting at it is not the same thing as asking. But if you were to propose to her directly, well, you would know for sure whether it's time to walk away or not. That's what I think.
Yep. So the next one is, hi podcast. My partner, Megan, constantly points out my flaws, my eating habits, how I dress, and even how I express myself in conversation. She says it's for my own good, but it's really starting to hurt my self-esteem. Is this love, or am I blind to a toxic dynamic? Thanks, Tom. Go ahead.
He doesn't love you. I'm sorry to say that, but he doesn't like you. So how can he love you? I mean, love is just a fleeting feeling, and it is a choice. However, you never want to hurt the person you love. It's one thing to poke little jabs and have little fun with them, but if he's hurting your self-esteem, that's not love.
Yeah. Yeah. So Megan's the one that's doing it to
You're
to
right.
her partner. Yeah, Megan.
Right. But that's not love.
No. And you know what? It's control and dominance. It's Megan feeling insecure, feeling like she's not worthy of you. So she's whittling away at your confidence to make herself feel better. That's toxic.
At
That's
the
very
same
toxic.
time, I don't get the feeling she likes him. She wants to change him. And
Yeah.
if she doesn't like him, it's everybody. There is no perfect relationship. Every single person in the world has things they don't like, or things that irritate them or get on their nerves. It's going to happen. You're going to go up and down in a relationship. But this is clearly saying that she doesn't like him. And if she doesn't like him, she doesn't love him.
Right. No, I agree.
Hi team, I'm Lila, and my partner Chris posts everything about our relationship on social media, even private arguments. I've asked him to stop, but he says, I just like being open with people. How do I get him to respect my boundaries? Oh my gosh.
I would leave, because he's not going to respect your boundaries. You've already discussed it with him. He obviously is an attention seeker, and that's why he's doing it. He wants attention, and it would raise the red flag. Whose attention is he trying to get?
If I put myself in this situation and think about my private business being out there in the open, I would just die. This is something that is absolutely unacceptable. I would never want my private business known by public, ever.
No.
Ever. I think that's just leave. Yep.
Yes. So the next one is, Dear Podcast, I'm Maya, and one of my closest friends recently admitted they have feelings for my partner, Jake. Jake has been completely loyal, but now I feel uncomfortable around my friend. Should I confront her or distance myself completely? Thank you, Maya. You want to weigh in on that one first?
My answer is completely distance yourself. I don't even think you need to have a conversation. I think it's dangerous. I think you're putting your relationship in jeopardy. However, I think if it's going to happen and there's cheating down the line, it's going to happen whether you want it to or not. However, this is not a friend.
No.
This is not a friend in any shape or form. And you definitely completely distance yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like her friend's jealous and envious of the relationship she has with Jake, and she's trying to cause a little rift there. I would definitely cut her out of my energy for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I think you're next.
Hi, Astro Divas. I recently discovered that my partner Ethan has an alias on social media where he portrays themselves as single. When I confronted him, he said it was just for fun. I'm devastated and don't know what to believe. Is this harmless, or is it a sign? And should I leave? Sincerely, Jen.
Run.
Yeah, well,
Done.
there's no excuse for that. Aliases are
No,
aliases, and this
no.
is this means right now you're an option in his life, and he is out there
Yeah.
looking.
He's
And
trying to have a covert second life
yeah,
and pretend that he's someone else and single to get the attention. No, he needs to go away.
right.
Yeah. So the next one is, hi podcast. I'm Emma and my partner Josh and I have been trying to have a baby for 2 years without success. It's taken an emotional toll on both of us and I feel like we are drifting apart. How can we reconnect while dealing with the heartbreak? Thanks, Emma. It's sad.
You have to hang in there. Just hang in
Yeah.
there. There is hope. You will get through this. I believe you'll get through this. And you just have to have faith. And hopefully faith is enough to keep this going. And maybe in 2025 you will be expecting.
And maybe there's alternate, options. Maybe, whether it's in vitro or, adopting a child. I would talk about other ways to have a child.
Yeah, I think they just have to hang on to hope and faith. Because there's still time, right? It's not
Right.
like there's a, yeah. Hi, podcast team. My partner Ryan recently told me they were involved in a physical altercation in their past, and it's making me question their character. They swear they've changed, but now I feel uneasy. Should I believe them or walk away?
Well, I think we'd have to have more information. It feels like this was a masculine energy that was violent toward a feminine. And if that's the case, they'll do it again. I'm sorry, but I would not stay. I wouldn't stay. But we'd have to know more information. What was it? Did he shove her? Did he beat her up? I mean, it matters.
Yeah, or if they're talking about a bar fight. Sorry,
Right.
sorry guys, but we just don't have enough information to weigh
Mm-mm.
in on this.
Definitely not. So the next one is, hi, Astro Divas. I just found out my partner Jake has a 10-year-old child from a previous relationship that they never told me about. I love him, but this feels like such a huge betrayal. How do I process this and decide if I can stay? Thanks, Sophia. Well, I think it would depend on how long they've been together. I mean, did they just meet or have they been together for years? Because if they've been together for years, then that is definitely a betrayal. And why did he hide it?
Right, but I do think if they've been together for years and he's felt a lot of shame or didn't want anything to do with the child, maybe the child's just come back into his life or something like that. At this point, I do think you can come back from this. Um, if you guys love each other and you're both mature and you just both found out something like that. However, if he's been living a double life and had a child and been taking care of her and seeing her every week and lying about it, that would be a completely different situation. And I don't know that you can come back from that. I understand. I've heard stories with other couples in the past that people feel a lot of shame when something's happened. And usually in cases like this, it's because somebody finds out about it after the fact. In this case, we don't know if
Right.
he just found out or if this was the whole time and he's just been lying. Anyways, dear podcast, I'm Matt and I recently found out that my partner Liam has been gambling behind my back. He says he'll stop and I'm unsure if I can trust him. How do I support him without enabling his behavior?
Well,
Well,
he would have to prove that he's getting help. And that's the only way you're going to know if he's serious about changing that pattern and behavior.
right. And is he an addict or is this something he's doing for fun and you guys are just, having a tiff right now and you're not okay with him gambling and he's promising to stop? If that's the case, it's just something you're going to have to wait and see. And you can't just, nobody can know the future. You can't know, but you'll have to trust him. Trust is a big factor here, and you're going to have to hope he's going to choose the right thing.
Definitely. So the next one is caught my partner texting their ex. Dear team, I'm Claire and I recently caught my partner Sam texting his ex last night. When I asked him He said, it's nothing serious. It feels like a betrayal, but I don't know if I'm overreacting. Should I confront him further? Thank you, Claire. It is a betrayal. That is a deception. That is cheating. When you still have an emotional connection and you are communicating with someone that you had a relationship with, that is definitely cheating. And I wouldn't tolerate it. I'd walk away.
Unless there's a reason, which that's not put in the email, unless there was some specific reason, and he was transparent about that reason, that would be different. But if he's just randomly texting his ex, you're right. You're right.
Well, it looks like it was hidden from her because she caught him. So it was
Right.
hidden. So that would
not transparent
no,
at all. Right.
no,
That's a whole different story right there.
right.
Should I share finances? Chris wants to open up a joint account, but I'm hesitant because we're not married. He says it's about trust, but I feel like it's too soon. Am I wrong to have reservations?
I agree with her. I don't think that you should have a joint account unless you are in a some sort of contractual agreement, whether it's you've been together 12, 15, 20 years or you're married. I don't see a reason behind that. It just doesn't, it sounds shady to me. It does.
You'd be right.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay. You could
Yeah.
be right.
Yeah, it just, it
have nothing more
doesn't
to
make sense. It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense.
I think he's trying to make it like they're together and join and partner. However, with nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
I'm not sure either.
So the next one is, hi, Astro Divas. I'm Nina, and my partner Kyle has been avoiding physical intimacy for months. He says he's just stressed, but I feel like there's something deeper going on. How do I approach this? Thanks, Nina. You know, that's a tricky one because someone that avoids is depending on their age. Say this is a young person. We don't know the ages. If this person's avoiding intimacy, it could trigger a red flag. This could make you suspect that they are being intimate with someone else, unless they have a physical issue. So that is going to require a sit down, heart to heart, to get to the root of the issue.
But at the same time, how do you approach this? Maybe there is something going on with him, and not everybody is able to communicate things all the time. Nobody's perfect, and sometimes people go through things and they just don't deal with it the way someone else would like. And in this case, maybe he really is going through something. Maybe it has something to do with work or things like that. The only thing I would suggest is try asking him in a very in a way that wouldn't make him feel defensive, and ask maybe if there's anything you can do to help, or if there's that's all I can suggest in this.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Maya, and my parents' partners are verbally abusive towards me, often making rude comments about my background. My partner, Ethan says that's just how they are. Should I stay and deal with this, or expect Ethan to stand up for me?
Any man that cannot stand up for his partner is a coward. And you need to get out of that situation, because it's not going to stop there. It will continue. And this is a man that needs to have a backbone. This is someone that's cowered by their family. They're afraid to speak up against their family. And no, you need a real man, not a boy.
I agree. Nothing more to say about that one.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one we have is, hi, podcast. My partner, Chris, recently relapsed after years of sobriety. He says he's ready to get back on track, but I'm feeling drained and scared. Can a relationship survive something like this? Thanks, Emma.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. People slip up all the time. I'm sorry, I'm not one who's going to have negative advice or walk away kind of advice for anyone, because when it comes down to it, there's so much more to a relationship than a one-time slip up, or even a 3-month slip up. People slip up. It's very, very difficult. Kudos for him for being in sobriety for years. You absolutely can survive something like this. You just have to be willing to. It's a choice. And that choice is going to be fundamentally up to you.
Yep.
That's all I have to say on that.
I agree. Okay, you got the next one?
How do I handle their gaslighting? Hi, Astro Divas. I'm Tara, and every time I try to bring up something that's bothering me, my partner Jake twists the conversation to make me feel guilty. I'm starting to feel like I'm the problem. Is this normal, or am I being manipulated?
That's manipulation at its finest. That's an avoidant. Somebody that does not want to take accountability and will project and blame so that they don't have to be accountable.
I think that this clearly is part of his character, and I think that he might not know how to be. I don't know how he was in previous relationships, but unless he acknowledges this part of his character and sees this as a problem, I don't see it changing, because he might not know that this is not normal. And that needs to be brought up in a serious conversation. This is the way he deals with it. It's not correct.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Okay, so the next one is I'm Lucas, and my partner, Alina, brings up painful parts of my past during arguments to hurt me. She says it's because I open the door by sharing those things. Is this something I can forgive? Thanks, Lucas. That's hurtful.
It's hurtful, but it's common. I'm not saying it's right, but a lot of young girls, younger 20s, do this. I know that sometimes we get out of line and we tend to say and do things that we shouldn't. Hopefully this is not an ongoing pattern with her. And you definitely need to talk to her about it, because you're being vulnerable with her, and she's using that against you in the heat of the moment, which is not okay at all.
No.
Not okay. But you should talk to her about it. This can be healed, I believe. Yeah. Is this me?
Yep.
Okay, hi Astro Divas. I'm Claire, and I caught my partner Alex using a dating app. He says he's just looking out of curiosity and that it doesn't mean anything. I'm not sure if this counts as cheating, or am I overreacting? What should I do? This is coming to people.
Yeah, no.
Astrodipity.
This is somebody that is looking to see what their options are. And if you are not the top priority in the relationship, then you never will be. And I'm sorry, but I wouldn't waste any more time, attention, or energy onto this person. Let them explore their options. Set yourself free. That's how I feel about it. And I'm sticking by that.
You stick by it.
All right. So did you have anything to say about that one?
No.
Okay. The next one is, hi, Astro Divas. My partner, Sam, drinks every night and says it's just a way to unwind. It's starting to worry me because he can't go a day without it. How do I bring this up without sounding judgmental? Thanks, Megan. Definitely, it's unhealthy for him to be drinking every single day. This is someone that's trying to drown their emotions, avoid pain that they need to heal from. And so if you can't have a heart to heart and explain to him that this is not a good behavior, that it's not healthy for him, it's not healthy for the relationship, and that he needs to really focus on addressing the source of the issue, because he's definitely trying to numb his pain.
Right. I know a lot of people would want to weigh in on this conversation, because I've experienced this in previous things that I've done in my life. And I do have friends out there who believe in having a drink every day, and it's not the end of the world. That is their opinion. However, I think even one drink every single day suggests that you have an addiction. And that's because I happen to specialize in this field. But there are a lot of people out there that would say otherwise. And even on the internet, it will say, you know, 1, 2 glasses of beer or a glass of wine is good for you every day. I don't agree, but everybody does have their own opinion in this. And if that's their thing to relax and de-stress every day, it might just be that, and only they would know. Only they would
Right.
know. So it's not something I can judge, you know, that it should be stopped. I mean, was this person that way before they got together? Is this something, I mean, now that I used to be much more judgmental in that sense and judge it based on my previous work experience. Whereas now I have to just take people as they are. And sometimes that's what somebody wants. Everybody
Right.
has a thing. And so I can't say it's wrong or right in this case. There is no right or wrong. You're just feeling this way, and he happens to think it's nothing, and that's what he wants to do. So it's a choice that's totally up to you at this point. Are you okay with it or not? That's what I think. And I don't think it's a deal breaker, by the way. Will they ever leave their parents? I'm Samantha, and my partner Mark is 35 and still lives with his parents. We've been dating for 3 years, and every time I bring up moving in together, he says I'm not ready yet. I love him, but this situation is making me question our future. How do I approach this?
I find it very odd. Now, it would be different if his parents were elderly and he's there because he feels a sense of responsibility. You know, he's helping to take care of them. But if this is just living at your parents' house at 35 and you've been dating for 3 years and you don't want to move in, this sounds like somebody that's avoiding responsibility. They don't want to grow up. They want to be a Toys R
Sounds
Us kids.
like Toys R Us. That Toys R Us kids.
Kid.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, no, it sounds like he's completely content and comfortable. And why am I seeing video games all night and stuff
Yeah,
like
there's
that?
something.
Where's my
Yeah.
French fries? And yeah,
Yeah, he hasn't grown up yet.
yeah, he doesn't really want to either.
No.
Sounds like. My partner Janice spends money on things we agreed to save for, like expensive gadgets or trips with friends. When I bring it up, she says, it's not a big deal. You're making it bigger than it is. I'm starting to feel manipulated. How do I handle this?
I think that you need to have a discussion and come to a compromise that you're both willing to stick to. And if that's not possible, then you may need to walk away because you have unaligned views and
Unaligned.
values.
Unaligned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah.
By the
That's how
way,
I
for
feel.
all you men out there, a lot of girls like to spend. I'm just saying it is the
Yeah.
truth. Right? But
Right.
yeah,
So the next one is I found their diary. Hi, team. I accidentally found my partner Lisa's diary while cleaning. I didn't mean to, but I read a few pages and saw she wrote about doubts in our relationship. Should I come clean about reading it, or should I let go and deal with my feelings privately? The best, Matt. Dude, you need to fess up to that because that's going to come out eventually and it's going to eat away at your brain until you address it. So you need to say, I accidentally found your diary. I'm sorry, but I was tempted and I read a few pages and I saw you had doubts about our relationship. I'm sorry that I broke your trust. It was not intentional, but we need to talk about this and get on the same page. It's going to torment him until he does it.
it is. But there's two sides to this. Sorry, guys. There's two sides. And number one, you didn't accidentally read her diary.
Right.
You opened it, you could have closed it, and you should have closed it. And the fact you read it, you wanted to peek. And the fact that she wrote down her personal feelings about doubts and things like that, well, guess what? We all have them. We all have moments where we're not sure, and we just aren't. Like, it's not every day you're going to be in a happy, content relationship and you're feeling like, oh, it really is a choice. But I think the two sides are, he can do it your way and fess up and talk about it, or he can just not say anything and literally deal with it on his own, because she is allowed to have moments where she's doubting herself, and that's private. That's her her business, not his.
Right. I agree.
Dear podcast, I just discovered that my partner, Alex, lied about their age when we first met. They're 5 years older than they said. They say they were insecure and thought I judged them. I feel like I don't fully know who they are. Should I move past this, or is it a bigger issue? Oh gosh, I really want to hear what you have to say because I have a story.
So, well, the only thing I want to say is, does it matter to you? Do you really care that he's 5 years older? And if you do, well, then that's a personal decision you're going to have to make, that it's a deal breaker. If not, then you need to, come to terms with, he was insecure. And so he lied about his age, not to scare you off. And it's not a deal breaker, but that's only you can decide that.
Yeah, only you can decide that. I did this when I was young. I did exactly this. I said I was 5 years older than I was. And that was because everybody I was surrounded with was older. And I felt like I wanted to be that person. I can relate to this story. Just
Right.
Yeah.
All right, the next one. Hi, I'm Nina. My partner's best friend, Mike, constantly makes inappropriate jokes about me in front of my partner. Jake brushes it off and says, that's just Mike being Mike, but it's making me uncomfortable. Should I confront Mike myself or push Jake to take a stand? You shouldn't have to push your man to stand up for you. I'm sorry, but I just lost respect for Jake, who is allowing someone, his friend, to say things that are inappropriate.
Do you know how many people are like that, though?
It's gross.
I hear it all the time. Yeah.
No, it's just gross. That's somebody that's a follower, not a leader.
Right.
A leader would say, look, that's not appropriate. And I don't appreciate you saying those things in front of her.
Absolutely.
A coward would go along with it and tell his partner, oh, just let it go. It's not a big deal. That's a coward.
Yep.
Sorry. And I have nothing nice to say about that situation.
Dear team, I love traveling, but my partner Liam is a homebody who hates the idea of going anywhere. Every time I bring up a trip, he says, why waste money on that? I am worried this will create resentment down the line. Can this relationship work with such different lifestyles?
I mean, it can work if you're both willing to compromise. So you need to have a very analytical conversation, present the facts, the pros and the cons of travel, getting out, spending time together, and hopefully he'll be willing to compromise that with you. And, for example, maybe you just take a weekend trip every 6 months. It doesn't have to be a week. Maybe is a compromise there.
Yep.
So hopefully you can reach a compromise.
Yep. Or come to the compromise and the understanding that you just go off with your friends and be okay. Right. And they stay home if that's okay with the two of you.
Right. Have you noticed there's a lot of Liams in these emails?
Yes.
Like everybody's named Liam. Okay.
My partner, Chris, it's me. Yeah. My partner, Chris, has a coworker who's overly flirty. They text late at night, send inside jokes, and even make comments about his appearance. Chris says it's harmless, but it bothers me. Should I trust him or ask for firmer boundaries? Well, maybe he really does think it's nothing if that's his coworker. Some people are just okay with that and doesn't bother them whatsoever. If it bothers you, I'm not sure if you're just being a little overly sensitive or if this coworker is just, just absolutely flirty with everyone. I don't know if this is a single situation.
I think it's inappropriate. I think it's inappropriate because her sixth sense, her spidey sense is picking up not only that the coworker is flirting, but that he is receiving it in a way that is making him feel good. They're having private jokes.
But is he? Because I have friends that know other people in the same kind of thing, and like I said in our previous podcast, that it's human nature to be flirty, even though it's inappropriate and not right. And I do know people who just talk like that and just
Yeah.
come off as flirty, and that's their style. Doesn't mean I hang out with them, no,
Yeah.
but they will never change. This is who they are. Do you accept it or don't you?
Well, it's the part I have a problem with is the inside jokes and the late text. If they're not texting about work, if it's
Right.
not about work, then it's not appropriate for her to
You're right.
take up the time with that relationship to
You're right.
communicate, joke, and flirt. That is would indicate something other than work.
You're right. And late night texts
Yeah, no.
shouldn't happen
No.
unless there's something between you.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just totally not
You're right.
appropriate
You're
as
right.
far as I'm concerned.
Got it.
Okay, so let's see. The next one is my name is Lucas and my partner Sam insists on keeping our relationship private. He doesn't post about me online and won't introduce me to his friends, saying, I just like to keep things personal. Is this a red flag or am I overthinking it? I think it would depend on the length of the relationship. That would be a determining factor. If it's a brand new relationship, I would understand that somebody wants to make sure that it's solid and that it's going to work out before they go telling the world about the relationship. Also, there might be because this person doesn't want interference in the relationship. So it would just depend on the
True.
time
Good
frame.
point. That
Yeah.
part, good point. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. It depends on how long you've been in a relationship for. It really does. Um, my partner, Rachel, wants to quit her stable job to pursue acting. She has no experience and it feels like a huge risk financially. I want to be supportive, but I'm scared about what this can mean for our future. How do I handle this without crushing her dream? Well, if this is something she wants to do, unfortunately, I get it. Been there, done that, done the acting thing. Um, but it's something nobody has the right to say you can't or you shouldn't do something. It's her dream, and if she does want to pursue it, I would suggest support her in it, even whether it's a good decision or a bad decision. The only way we learn through our our life, learn how to be and what's good and what isn't, is by making mistakes or choosing things and learning from them. That's how we learn. So that's
Yeah.
my response.
I agree. I mean, if he tries to prevent her from pursuing her dreams, she will resent him. I mean, he may be able to convince her not to do it, but she will resent him. And if she fails, she fails. But, she doesn't know unless she tries it. And you don't want to spend the rest of your life wishing you would have pursued something that you were so passionate about that you
Correct.
didn't. So support it,
Yep.
support her dreams. Yeah. So the next one is Hi, podcast. I'm Tara. My partner, Evan, never celebrates important milestones, birthdays, anniversaries, or even career achievements. When I asked why, he said, It's just another day. I feel unappreciated. Is this something I need to accept, or is it worth addressing? Thank you, Tara. It's worth addressing because it bothers you. If it wasn't worth addressing, you wouldn't have emailed this. So I definitely feel like you need to have a heart to heart and explain to him how it affects you. It may be another day to him because maybe that's the way he was raised, but you need to give him more information. Like, maybe you're used to having certain things for your birthday or acknowledgments, and it's important to you. So you need to have a heart to heart and let him know what it means to you.
And I think every girl who is a girl or a woman should want to have those moments where she feels adored and special, and that's important to her, like you said. So yes, that's why it needs to be brought up.
Yeah.
The next one is a little bit more serious. If you discovered years into your relationship that your partner had a child they never told you about, how would you react? Imagine they say they were scared of losing you and wanted to wait for the right time to share the truth. Could you forgive such a massive omission, or would it permanently damage your trust?
I think it would definitely damage the trust because when you are together with someone, whether it's a long term partner or a marriage, you have intimate moments with that person and every aspect of their life should be shared. You share, with each other. And so to hide something like a child, then I don't know, I would be concerned about that. Also, if they're not supporting that child, there would be, for me, I would lose respect for that person. I
Yeah,
wouldn't have any respect.
I would too.
So, yeah. Any more on that one? I'm going to go on to the next one.
Go on to the next one. I agree.
Okay. Is it wrong to outgrow a partner? How do you handle the realization that you've outgrown your partner emotionally or intellectually? Imagine you're with someone who's kind and loving, but has no ambition or desire to grow while you're striving for more in life. Is it selfish to leave, or should love be enough? I, well, okay. So when we grow and we evolve and we ascend, even on a spiritual, energetic, whatever level you want to describe it as, the person you're with, they will typically grow and evolve with you. And if that person stays the same and you continue to rise and grow, then you become unaligned with that person. And it's not wrong with recognizing you have love for someone, but they have not grown and evolved with you. It's okay to say this is no longer aligned for me. It doesn't mean you don't love them or respect them. They're just not aligned anymore with who you are, the new version of you. I think it's okay to leave.
I think when you've invested time in a relationship, that sometimes there are going to be moments when you're not aligned. And I believe that when you invest into a relationship, that you shouldn't discard that or dismiss someone quickly just because your wants and your needs have changed. I think there's a period of adjustment that needs to happen. I do believe that supporting the other person in everything they want to achieve is probably the biggest gift you can give someone. And if you can be okay with them being ambitious and going after things and support them, then you can still grow together. If you're okay with just letting your life be as it is. I know for me, my love language probably is someone helping me achieve my goals and vice versa, me helping them achieve their goals. And to me, there's nothing more exciting than that. But I know there are moments when you're not going to be on the same page. There just are. And hopefully the time that you've invested before is important enough to make you continue the process to see if things will change down the road. I don't think it's something you just walk away from randomly because, well, now I want more in my life and this person sort of is just, this way and they don't seem as ambitious or as excited or motivated as me and that's it, I'm done. Sometimes you're just not on the same timeline and things like that. And sometimes you've got to give it time to get there. So I really believe this is something that it's really dependent on how much time you invested before that. I think if you're going through a couple of years and nothing's changing with the person and you want to move forward in whatever it is that you want to move forward in, and there's no change then with the other person, they have no want to come and grow with you, that's a different story. That's a whole different story. That's what I think. Picture this. Your partner of 5 years admits they had a one-night stand during a particularly rough time in your relationship. They swear it was a mistake and want to rebuild your trust. Could you forgive them and try to move forward? Or would that betrayal be too much to overcome?
Well, I can say for me, that would be it. That's a deal breaker. You
Yep.
betray my trust. And if you can't hang in when times are tough, then you're not, that relationship is not a priority for you. And no, I wouldn't. No, betrayal that's no deal breaker. There's no.
And you're right. Tough times, like you said, if you can't hang in there and get through those, it could be months, it could be a year, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So the next one is, what would you do if your partner revealed they no longer loved you, but they wanted to stay together for the sake of your child? Would you try to make it work for the child's stability, or would you separate to find happiness and show them what a healthy relationship looks like?
Well, I
I
know what
wouldn't
the
stay.
answer is. I knew you'd say that. However, I would I know me, and everybody's different. I'm not saying right or wrong, but I know that my children are my life, and I wouldn't want to upset their security and stability, because I love them more than anything. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that would be my choice. And
I, I mean,
that's how I see things. A relationship is, if I'm moving from one relationship, in other words, my marriage or the father of my children, if I'm moving out of that and I don't want to be in that anymore, at that point, my focus is my children before another relationship. It would take me a long time before I could undo that. I'd prioritize their stability. I'm not saying it's right. You should absolutely show your children what a healthy relationship looks like.
exactly.
Absolutely, 100%. However, I just know who I am, and some people aren't like that. And my children would, at that point, become more important to me than anything.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. You are showing your children what a loving relationship looks like. When you stay in a relationship where there is no love, you are teaching your children to settle for less. That you don't have to have love, that it's not going to happen. You don't need love, that
True.
you just have to stay together.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. I mean, I know from experience what it means to hold on to a relationship because you think you should for the children when it's toxic.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. Your children deserve a happy environment, loving environment.
Right. But
Yeah,
shouldn't you also take the time to make sure their security, their stability? Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of couples out there that live together for the sake of their children because having a relationship isn't important. What
right.
isn't important is their children at that point. And it's dependent on what.
What your preferences? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't judge anyone for any decision they make in life. I just know
right.
for myself. Yeah,
I
I
agree.
wouldn't.
I agree. This is me. Ooh, this one's a little cut out. Imagine being with someone who doesn't argue or fight, but has emotionally checked out of the relationship. I'm sorry, I can't see the rest.
They say they still care about you, but they don't seem to put in any effort anymore. No intimacy, no meaningful conversation, no shared future goals. Do you stay and try to reignite the connection or walk away when you don't seem willing to change? I
Thank you.
This person's already left the
Yeah,
relationship.
they've already left,
They're
and
already gone.
say, please try and heal. Please try and walk away. The sooner you do that, because healing
Mhm.
takes time, the better off you'll be. The closer you are to the relationship you want. Heal from this. Walk away. This person doesn't deserve you.
No, they've already and you know what? They probably already have someone else. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
If
me.
they're
I got the
Yeah.
same feeling.
Yeah.
I'll take the next one, sweet.
Okay.
Suppose your partner revealed they used to live a lifestyle completely opposite to what you know now, like being part of a criminal network or having a history of harmful behaviors. They claim they've changed entirely and that their past no longer defines them. Would you believe in their transformation, or would it change the way you see them? So they're just, first of all, the partner has just told them, oh, way back when I was like this. I don't get the feeling they're like this at all, and they're just telling them, "Oh, you wouldn't believe the way I was 20 years ago," or something like
Right.
that.
I think you have to stick with the facts, and I would have to know the time frame. Was this when they were 18 and now they're 45? Because that would make a difference. And I would definitely go off of who they are now, their behavior. Do
Yep.
their actions align with their words? That's what I would do.
Well, just the fact they're saying they revealed they used to live a completely different lifestyle, that's obviously in the past, the way they're, bringing this forward. I would think, yeah, you're always changing. Whether you're one of those people who believe that people don't change, no, you're always changing. There might be certain things that don't change in you. That's, once again, it's different for everyone. But in this case, it sounds to me like it's no biggie. They lived a different lifestyle. and
Right.
they're just revealing it. So yeah, I don't think it should impact your relationship now at all.
No, I agree. So the next one is, what if your partner expressed they were happy with you being the primary earner for the rest of your lives while they focused on their passions or stayed home? Would you support that dynamic, or would it lead to resentment over time? Well, it's what you're okay with. I mean, if you're in agreement with that, then that's one thing. If you're not in agreement, then yes, it would cause you to be resentful. But then that's when you need to decide to walk away from the relationship.
Yeah, there's lots of people out there who would love to have a woman or a girl, younger girl, or vice versa, a man, completely provide and take care of them, and they just want to stay home and do their thing. And there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It's really dependent on what you like, and hopefully you're with someone who wants the same thing. There's a lot of men out there who like to provide as well, and don't want their other significant person working or coming home late or traveling or anything like that. And I respect both. I really do. It's dependent
Right.
on how you feel.
Right.
How would you deal with a partner who doesn't want to have the talk? Imagine being in a relationship for 2 years with someone who avoids every question about exclusivity or future plans, saying things like, why label it? Isn't it good as it is? Would you give them more time, or would you demand clarity and walk away if they can't commit? I'm out.
Well, I'm out too. 2 years and exclusivity. So does this mean that they are dating other people?
It's
They don't
horrible.
even want to be exclusive and it's been 2 years? Honey, you're settling for less. You need to move on. You could do better.
And by the
Just cut
way,
it loose.
if you're over 25 and you still have a need to just sleep with anything or be with any person, or just if you're look out for STDs and all
Right.
kinds of things. These guys or these girls are never going to grow up.
No.
Ever.
The
Ever.
Peter Pan syndrome.
It's
Yep.
disgusting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine your partner suffered a traumatic injury that caused them to lose all memory of your relationship. They don't recognize you and don't feel the same emotional connection. Would you stay and try to rebuild the relationship from scratch, or would you feel too heartbroken to continue? Oh, you can't not want what the heart wants. And
Yeah.
if you love someone, whether they remember the love or not, this wasn't by their free will choosing. You can't deny that love. I would say stay and rebuild it.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
all for love.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would want to uh, renew all those
Yeah.
memories or try
Yeah.
again. And hopefully they want that too. And
Yes. Oh,
yeah, it's sad, eh?
it is.
And this is our final one, everyone. So, how do you handle a partner who won't defend you? Suppose your partner's family openly disrespects you or criticizes you. Your partner doesn't step in to defend you. When you bring it up, they say, I don't want to cause drama. How do you address feeling unsupported in such a crucial way? Would this be a deal breaker for you guys, meaning
One
Tasha and I?
100%. It would be a deal breaker because that man or woman, whoever it is, they're a coward. They're not standing up for their partner. When you leave your family, you make a new family. You're not beholden to the same family that you left because you create your own. You can see that's in the Bible. It's a fact. So if you can't defend and stand up for your partner, then you're just not anyone. You're not a ride or die. You're not. I just no. I would be gone.
Yeah, I've experienced that in my lifetime. And it doesn't have to be your significant other, your romantic partner. It could be through friends or family. And when you don't feel supported, or somebody just stands there while the other person, some party says something that is hurtful or disrespectful, and people just sit there and watch, it's not a nice place to be. Not at
No,
all. And
no,
it can make you very insecure, make you doubt yourself, things like that. Hopefully you're strong enough to get through it, but those people you don't need around you. It's not healthy.
no. I mean, if you can't even, much less a friend, but a partner.
A
If
partner.
your own partner that you love, that loves you, can't stand up for you, that is just like that's somebody that'll kick you to the curb and throw you under the bus. I
Yes,
wouldn't. Mm-mm,
absolutely.
nope. No, thank you.
Well, on that note, everyone, we hope you enjoyed our emails. We're going to have more for you next week. Once again, we're in December, so we're getting close to the holidays, whatever holiday it is that you celebrate. We're coming to an end of a year. Hopefully, for all of you that didn't have a good year, that next year kills it and rocks it. We wish nothing but the best for you and your families. And on that note, we're going to say goodbye to you from Astrodipity and Astro Divas. Bye from Cass.
Bye. Bye.
We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.